Hey guys, Metal Viking 82 here, back with a new Viking Orations. Got another review for you today, and this time around I'm going to be talking to you about the debut full-length album from the band Freeways, entitled True Bearings, put out this year through Temple of Mystery Records. And if you are not familiar with Freeways, they are a hard rock / heavy metal band from Brampton, Ontario, Canada that honestly I do not know exactly when they formed. I could not find any information on that. But amongst the ranks you have Dominic Innocente on guitar, Sebastian Alcamo on drums, Jacob Montgomery handling guitars and vocals, and Amar Amrith on bass. As I said, this is their debut full-length album. It is 7 tracks, clocks in right at 37 minutes in length. And yeah, this is just such a fun album to listen to. I really enjoyed this album. The guitar work is just solid, well executed with some really killer riffs and twin guitar harmonies throughout the whole thing. The tone isn't really super heavy, but for the style that they're playing, it doesn't really have to be, and they really make it work, I think. The bass has a really good tone to it, not overly high in the mix, but still clearly audible, which of course you know me, I love a nice audible bass, especially if it has a really good tone and some really solid playing, which this definitely does. The drums are really well performed. There's nothing super flashy here, just a really solid rock performance, I think. The overall sound that they got for the drums, I really enjoyed. I thought there were some really powerful snare hits here. It kind of reminded me of, when you're listening to Kiss, with Eric Carr on drums. I mean, he has some really powerful hits, especially in the snare, and that's, pretty much what you got here with Freeways. Really good vocals with some nice vocal harmonies and a good use of the, dual vocals at at different times, which I really liked. Yeah, starting off though with track 1, Eternal Light, Eternal Night, there is some serious Desert Plains by Judas Priest vibes throughout that whole song. Not only in the riffs, but the vocals and the way that they're delivered. I mean, first time I listened to this, that's what I thought. As soon as I heard it, I was like, this sounds just like Desert Plains. I mean, and that's one of my favorite Priest songs, so that was not a bad thing. Track 2, Sorrow, Love in Vain, at about the 1:53 mark, it shifts to a kind of a slightly darker, more somber atmosphere with this slow-picked riff, a slow-based riff, and these drums are just slowly hitting the ride cymbal. It's just really cool. It kind of gave it a bit of a Sabbath feel, but not quite as heavy as Sabbath is, but definitely gave off that Sabbathy vibe. Track 4, Dead Air. I loved this really cool bass intro that this has, and it has this slow guitar riff that comes in, leading to a twin harmonized version of that exact same guitar riff, and I absolutely love that. I thought it sounded really cool. Let's see here. Track 5, Battered and Bruised. Probably my favorite intro on this album, with this really cool drum beat, then this really thick bass groove kicks in, and finally the guitars kick in. It's just like, yeah, loved it. And I love the way he sings the chorus of this too. He's like, battered and bruised. Sorry about that really poor singing on my part, but yeah, you get the point. But yeah, about 2 minutes and 52 seconds in, right after the chorus, there's this kind of flamenco style guitar solo with the electric guitar playing in the background, leading to this really cool twin harmony riff. And then it ends with this heavier, this real head-nodding riff that you're like, as you're listening to it. Finally, track 6, Time Is No Excuse. It's kind of a blues rockish song. The intro is definitely blues rockish with this slow drum beat, the guitar riff, and the slow playing bass, and the vocal delivery. Just everything about it just says blues rock to me. And while it really does have that blues rock feel, but it has this pattern that starts at about minute and 23 in, where it kicks it up in tempo, then it returns to the slow, heavy, bluesy rhythm, and then it repeats throughout the entire song. It kind of switches tempos back and forth. And then it has a really killer guitar solo at about the 2:48 mark, and again right at 4:14. That, you just can't help but you're listening to the solo, you're just like, yeah. I mean, just excellent song. Overall, this is just a solid album. This is the kind of album that you could throw on in your truck or your car or whatever and just crank it while driving around, or, you know, having some beers with some friends, and, you know, you throw this album on and it's a good time guaranteed. I give this a solid 9 out of 10, so definitely go check it out. So yeah, that is going to do it. Thank you so much for watching and subscribing, and until next time, stay brutal.